9 experienced hikers set out into the snowy Ural Mountains in 1959. Young, skilled, adventurous, led by Igor Dyatlov, a respected mountaineer. They were prepared for the harsh Russian winter. They had the equipment. They had the knowledge. They had the spirit. These were not amateurs. They were trusted. They knew the risks. They knew the mountains. They never returned home. Their goal was to reach a remote peak called Otorten. In the Mansi language, its name means, "Don't go there," a warning that would prove terrifyingly accurate. On February 1st, the group camped on the slope of a mountain called Kolatsyahal. Translated, it means Mountain of the Dead. What happened next has haunted the world for over 60 years. When rescue teams finally found the hikers' tent, they expected a calm campsite buried in snow. Instead, they found chaos. The tent had been slashed open from the inside. The hikers had run into the night, barefoot, half-dressed, in temperatures that could kill in minutes. Tracks in the snow showed them walking away, not running, as if something terrified them. Yet they tried to stay quiet. The first bodies were found near the tree line, frozen beside a small fire. Their hands were torn, their skin scraped. They had clawed desperately at the tree to escape something or someone. 2 more bodies were found next, lying in the snow, faces toward the tent, as if they died trying to crawl back to safety. But then, 4 others were found many weeks later, and their deaths were different. 1 had a massive skull fracture. 2 had shattered ribs and crushed lungs. The force required was compared to a car crash, yet their skin showed no bruises, no impact marks, no explanation. Another had no eyes. 1 woman had no tongue, not cut, not chewed, simply gone. Parts of their clothing tested positive for radiation. Why would hikers' clothing carry radiation? Their skin was orange, their hair gray, as if something burned or aged them. Locals reported strange lights in the sky that night. Silent glowing orbs, hovering over the mountain, watching. But the Soviet authorities shut down the case quickly. They wrote 1 chilling line: "The hikers died due to an unknown compelling force." And then they sealed the files. They forbade discussion. They erased questions. Over the decades, theories multiplied. 1 theory says it was an avalanche, but experienced hikers would have recognized the danger instantly. And yet, their camp location showed no avalanche debris, no broken poles, no crushed tent, thousands of kilometers from any city. Another theory says military testing, the perfect place to hide secret weapons. Some believe the hikers were caught in parachute mine explosions, blasts powerful enough to crush bones, without leaving marks. But what about the missing eyes? What about the missing tongue? What about the radioactive clothing? Others point to infrasound E, a frequency that causes panic and terror, making people flee without reason. A psychological attack by the wind itself. But that doesn't explain the devastating internal injuries. Then there are the Mansi legends. Spirits that protect the mountains. Trespassers pay the price. Even the place names seem to scream warning. The hikers' cameras were recovered. Their final photos show darkness, blurred lights, and faces twisted by fear. Images that feel like the beginning of something terrible. Search records revealed footprints from only the hikers. No strangers, no intruders, no animals. So what were they running from? Why would 9 logical young adults tear open their only shelter and walk into lethal cold with no shoes, no coats, no chance? In 2019, Russia reopened the investigation. They concluded, again, that it was an avalanche. But almost every expert disagrees. The injuries, the radiation, the behavior, the silence from the sky. None of it fits. The Dyatlov Pass incident is not just unsolved, it is unnatural. 9 bright lives were lost that night, and the unanswered questions remain buried with them in the snow. What force could crush bones without leaving a bruise? What terror could drive 9 people to run blind into death? Why did the government try to make the world forget? The mountains know, the wind remembers, and the truth waits in that frozen darkness until someone dares to uncover it. The Dyatlov Pass will remain one of the most chilling mysteries on Earth. Why did the government try to make the world forget?